Have you ever walked out of therapy session feeling worse? Maybe you finally opened up about something painful, and instead of relief, you feel raw, or exposed, or even ashamed. Or maybe week after week you show up, talk, try, but nothing changes. You start to wonder, is this really helping me? Or worse, am I just broken beyond repair? If this resonates, you are not alone. And today we are going to talk about that big, silent elephant in the therapy room, when therapy feels counterproductive. Episode 10. The Silent Elephant. When therapy feels counterproductive. Welcome back to Let's Talk About the Elephant. I'm Majda, your host, psychologist, psychotraumatologist, and fellow traveler on this complex road we call healing. This podcast is about making sense of the invisible weight we carry, our trauma, our beliefs, our nervous system, and about learning how to walk alongside the elephant instead of against it. In today's episode, we are digging into a truth that's often whispered, rarely shouted. Sometimes, therapy doesn't feel like it's working. Sometimes, it even feels like it's making things worse. Let's explore why and what we can do about it. 7 years, and still stuck. Let's start with Reddit post from someone who shared, I've been in therapy for 7 years and still feel stuck. I've talked about everything, my trauma, my past, my thoughts, but nothing in my life has changed. I'm starting to think therapy just isn't for me. That kind of reflection hits deep. It's easy to assume that time in therapy equals progress. But therapy isn't magic. It's a relationship, a method, a process. And sometimes what's missing isn't time, it's the right fit. Sometimes people stay in therapy out of hope, habit, or fear of starting over. But just like any relationship, if it's not helping you grow, it's worth asking, is this still serving me? And this is something I always tell my clients from the very beginning of our work together. You can tell me anything. I will not be mad, I will not be sad, I will not be disappointed. Also, I will not take it personally if you say this method isn't working for you, or even if you feel that I'm not the right therapist for you anymore. I also explain client privilege and the legal protections in place. It's important that you know you can talk about your fears, doubts, and uncertainties. That includes wondering if therapy is helping, or if the approach is a good fit. It's always okay to bring that into the room. Sometimes changing the therapist is not just okay. It's a good decision. It can be an act of care for yourself. Why doesn't therapy work for me? Another Reddit user wrote, my therapist keeps telling me to change my thoughts and reframe things, but it just feels hollow. Sometimes the therapy language even makes me feel more alienated, like I'm broken for still struggling. This is a powerful reminder. The how of therapy matters as much as the what. If you ever feel that way, bring it into the session. Talk about it with your therapist. Therapy is the place to explore those feelings. It's a safe space for you to talk about it. Sometimes it shows something about our, as a client, approach to therapy. Sometimes it signals a need of a different therapist or different approach of therapy. And sometimes it's just about timing. Those tools are very powerful when you're ready to use them. That's why I personally use those tasks in therapy, but before we build safety, we learn how to ground ourselves. We learn relaxation techniques. For example, I would like to introduce a new tool. Let's say ABC tool from CBT, Cognitive Behavioral Therapy. Before giving you homework, I will of course explain to you everything and try to make sure that you understand. Sometimes it's difficult, especially in the beginning. I might ask you to write down the activating event, the feelings you had during those events, your thoughts and your body reactions. That would be your homework. But then, analysis, we do that together during our sessions. It might be 1, 2, 3, 4 sessions. And only when you feel safe enough to try it on your own, you do it. There is a rhythm in therapy. We sometimes need to gently encourage growth, but never push too hard. There is a balance between challenge and safety, and finding it takes time. Is this normal to feel worse after therapy? Another post on Reddit says, I started therapy 2 months ago, and I just feel worse. I cry all the time. I feel more hopeless than before. I don't know if this is normal. Yes, this can be normal. In trauma therapy, we often talk about the window of tolerance. This is a zone when we can feel and think at the same time. When we go beyond that, we might shift into hyperarousal, feeling overwhelmed, anxious, panicked, or hypoarousal, numb, disconnected, or shut down. When that happens, we are no longer processing, we are just surviving. That's why Phase 1 of trauma therapy focuses on safety, resources, and stabilization. Before we start processing the trauma, we build a toolbox: grounding, resourcing, body awareness, visualizations, breathwork. This phase can take a few weeks or even few months, and that's okay. There's no rush. Therapy isn't a race. It's a collaboration, and sometimes slower means faster. Naming the elephant. When therapy feels counterproductive, the elephant in the room can get really big and still silent. But what if we could sit with it, just for a moment? What if we could name it? Frustration, fear, doubt. Let it sit next to us. Let it breathe. Sometimes being close to the elephant, sweet and scary as it is, helps us feel safer, because we are no longer pretending it's not there. That's the journey. Let's partner in healing. As a therapist, I've sat with clients who feel like giving up. I've made mistakes myself. I've also learned that healing is not about perfection. It's about partnership. Let's work together, not as fixer and broken person, but as two humans navigating pain, meaning, and growth. If something doesn't feel right in therapy, speak it. Let's name it together. Let's sit with the elephant together. If we need to pause, shift, or try something new, we can. Therapy shouldn't be a scary place. It should be a safe place to experiment, reflect, and reconnect with your own wisdom. If this episode resonated with you, please like and subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear it. And if you'd like to share your story, your thoughts, or your own elephant, feel free to message me or leave the comment. You can find my Instagram account in the episode's description. Let's keep the conversation going. I'd love to hear your story as well. And if you'd like to support this project, buy me a coffee. Link is in the description. Until the next time, be kind to yourself. The elephant is walking with you, not against you. Take care of yourself and others, and see you next time.